actually not going to do a lot of poses on our hands. I don't think any. No, because sometimes it's just fun to do things differently. A lot of yoga poses are like on hands and knees, or we call it downward dog, where your butt's in the air and your hands are on the floor. We're not going to do that. There will be some interesting transitions because of that. And if you were like, I don't want to do a move like that, then just meet us where we're going. It doesn't matter. It's just yoga. Right? It's just yoga. So anyway, yoga, we talk about being present and paying attention. And it's a really, really awesome thing to develop as a skill, because paying attention is where we find joy a lot of times. I've been doing the Artist Way program, that like 12 weeks, you write a bunch and you do all these artistic, creative things, and it's been really cool. And part of it, the author was talking about her grandmother who had a really difficult life and a difficult marriage, and she would write letters to her family members, and they would say things like, oh, well, your dad hasn't found work, and or is having to move again, but the neighbor's puppy is adorable, and life's just like in my cactus bed, can you imagine? And the chrysanthemums were in bloom, and the sunrise this morning was really lovely, and you still got this feeling that the grandmother was actually a pretty peaceful, happy person. And people would ask, like, how does she deal with this marriage and this life? How does she manage it? And the author said, I realized that the answer to that question was found in her letters. My grandmother stayed sane and stayed happy by paying attention, by tuning into details and noticing all of the joy that is in life. And so it's a really cool thing to be able to have this kind of practice that helps us to build that skill, to pay attention, to keep ourselves sane in whatever the hell is going on in the world these days. So I'm glad you're here digging into this practice with me. Let's get started. Take your index finger and your thumb together, and then a little squishy spot at the bottom of your thumb, bring that to the center of your forehead and brush outwards towards your temples a few times. And then go from the sides of your nose out to your temples, so you go along your cheekbones. And from your temples down to your chin, along your jawline. Nose down to your chin on your laugh lines, and then brush from the corners of your mouth out to your ears, and take your fingertips underneath your ears and massage the soft spots back there. Let your hands rest down in your lap, and just take a few moments to settle into your breath. To notice, to pay attention. How's your body feeling? How's your breath moving? Did you try to fold your legs up like mine are and you find it really uncomfortable or painful? Well, then don't do that. Sit a different way. This is a comfortable seat on my body. Please come to a comfortable seat for your body. Take a few more breaths. Noticing what comes up. Take another deep breath in through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Again, like that. For 3 ohms. we're gonna start practice on our backs today. So just lay yourself down. And sometimes have a blanket around. You can move that out of the way. And then come down, bring your knees in your chest, give yourself a hug, take a little rock from side to side. And you're gonna keep holding on to your right leg, let your left leg extend, drop it down on the floor. It doesn't have to be straight. You could leave the leg bent if that's more comfortable in your back. And then move your toes around, make some circles with your right foot. Make sure you go in both directions. And notice how this feels to move your foot around and to be more active. And stop being active. Let the foot relax. Just take a few breaths. Gently, gently. Drawing the knee in towards your chest. Don't worry about how close it gets. Exhale. Move your right knee over towards the left side and take your right arm and stretch it out to the right. Take a few moments to let the shape relax, to feel the twist happening. And then your right fingertips, spread them out, extend that hand, feel your arm muscles all activating. And then let the fingers relax. Feel that softening. Do that a few more times. Maybe on an inhale, you stretch the arm out, and the exhale, you soften. Just noticing the sensations there. Paying attention to what's happening in the arm. One more breath. And then come back to your back. Go ahead and extend the right leg out and pull the left leg in, just to whatever degree is comfortable to you. And move the left foot around, making some circles, moving the ankle, the toe bones, maybe a little snap, crackle, and pop thrown in there. Notice what it feels like to move, and then notice what it feels like to be still. Sensing how the energy shifts. Maybe it's easier to draw the knee in just by a little bit if you're not moving your foot. One more exhale. And you're going to pull the left knee over to the right. Take your left arm out to the left. Hang out there for a moment. Now sometimes your foot is just going to hang out there. You can put it on the floor. I like to put it on my bottom leg. And put it wherever it makes sense to you. It's also okay if the foot's hanging out there if that's not uncomfortable to you. And take your left fingertips, spread them out. Ooh, that changed my twist. And then let the fingers relax. And inhale, engage that arm, spread the palm, exhale, relax. And do that a few more times. Practicing that art of attention. And on your next one, let it go. Come back to your back, bring your knees into your chest, give yourself a little hug. And take your feet down by your hips, arms down by your sides, wiggle your shoulders under your back, and push up into a bridge pose. This is kind of an early bridge pose. Often we do this towards the end of practice, so it might not be super high, but if you wiggle your shoulders in underneath you, you might get a little bit higher. Take a moment to check in with your feet. Are all parts of them pushing up? Sometimes I see the big toe edge lift up, and instead, how does it feel to push that edge down? Take another breath in. And then we'll release the shape. Relax your shoulders, lower your hips. Maybe let your knees fall against each other. And taking a moment again to notice, how does your energy shift when you come out of a back bend? How does it feel to go from the stimulating to the relaxing? And then bring your knees into your chest. And start rocking a this is one of those ones where I said it might be a little bit strange of a transition. And if you're thinking that this sounds not good, or you know you've got knee stuff, or you're just tired, just go ahead and stand up. But maybe you rock yourself all the way up without hands and letting your hair fly in your face and whatever has to happen there. And then coming to just standing comfortably, let your arms drop down by your sides and close your eyes and notice where the weight is in your feet. Do you feel more like the weight is forward or backward? Maybe you shift around a little bit just to play with your balance and see if you can arrive in a place where the weight is balanced in your feet. You might even keep your eyes closed as you take your arms and you reach them up and then down. And then reaching them up and down. And as you do this a few more times, just noticing, like, where are your palms facing? Do they face together or forward or up when you bring them up? Or do you feel like your arm bones rotate? There's no wrong answer to this. Just noticing, like, how does this feel? Maybe noticing what feels better if you change the movement. And take your arms up again. Big exhale, release them down. Give a little shake out. We're going to do a lot of arm things, and we'll do a little bit of kind of creative things today. So if you feel like your shoulders get tired and you need a little break, just wiggle it out and meet us back when you're feeling prepared for that. Let's take a warrior one. We're going to take warrior one. Reach your arms up and then cactus the elbows. So you'll bend the elbows and spread the fingers out. And as you inhale, take the arms up. Exhale, cactus the elbows again and see if you can give there more tension. So you feel more in your muscles. Exhale. Inhale, reach it up. Pull like you're resisting something. And just notice what happens. One more breath. Stay here. We're going to inhale here. And then on your exhale, bring your elbows towards each other. And we'll do this a few more times. And you might play with the speed or the resistance that you could put into it. Maybe you do it with your fists closed. And then with your palms open. Out. Another exhale. And we're going to open it out into warrior two. You're going to stay here. Dropping into the right knee. Just a little bit of work in that thigh. One more exhale. Inhale the peaceful warrior. Lift your heart. Send the heart up towards the ceiling. One more breath in. And then side angle. Coming out and over, stretching long through that left side. And then you're going to take a big circle of the arms. So you're going to take it down and then walk yourself out into a wide-legged forward fold. And here you have some opportunity to be creative. Maybe you play with the weight, going from your toes to your heels, or you walk your hands over to one leg or the other leg, or forward or back, or something else that seems interesting to you. Sometimes a twist feels nice. Do you have to do all of the things? No, we're only going to be here for a couple of breaths. But what would you like to do? What sounds interesting? What do you enjoy? What feels good in your body? Then we're going to start to walk it over towards the right side. And now you can always grab blocks and put them under your hands, or decide that you're going to place your hands on your front thigh instead of having your fingertips on the ground. Relax my hips in a lunge. Is it possible? And then you're going to step the left foot forward, find a fold in the front of your mat. You might put hands on your shins or on blocks. You might have a really big bend into your knees. Let the exhale out. Then make a big circle with the arms out and up as you come to standing. And let the arms drop and you're going around a little bit. before we do the other side, I'd like you to find some standing balance that you really like. Maybe you like dancer's pose, or you like, I don't know who likes half moon besides me, but those are options. And it doesn't need to be anything really fancy. You could do a tree pose. You could like make it up, because all yoga poses were made up by humans, so you can do that too. It's fine. Notice if you're still breathing. A lot of not breathing and balancing poses. These things that I find. Alright, go ahead and let yourself out of that. Notice what foot you were standing on. I don't think I said, but I was still standing on my right foot because I was doing the right side. So just make sure you know which side you were on so you can do the other one. And then we'll take warrior one on the other side. And we're going to take arms up and cactus your elbows. And you can make it as strong or as easy and fluid as you want. If you're like, my shoulders are tired, then just easy move them up and down and loosen some of that tension. Or you're like, oh, I'm gonna have such strong arms. One more exhale. Then inhale here. Maybe you pull the elbows back a little bit. Exhale, bring them towards each other. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, bring it in. Do that a few more times, and you get to play with how much effort you want to put in. You can imagine the substance you're moving your elbows through. For some reason, I decided peanut butter was my thing today. I never like moved anything but a kitchen knife through peanut butter. I don't know how that would feel like. Let out one more exhale, and then you're going to open into warrior two. And stay here for a moment. What do you feel? Where's the weight in your front foot? How are your shoulders? Sometimes turning the palms up feels a little more comfy. And then we'll lift up to peaceful warrior. Spend a moment lifting the heart, stretching, and lifting through the belly. Then you'll take the left elbow down, reach your right arm up and over, stretching long through the right side. A big circle, reaching that arm down towards the floor. We come into that wide-legged forward fold. And again, you'll spend some time here playing with the weight of your feet and where you might put your hands. You bend the knees, you shift around. And then walk it back towards the front of your mat. Relax my hips here. Then step the back foot in. Bend your knees, relax into this fold. See what might be tight and what you could release. Stand all the way up, reach the arms out. Inhale. Exhale, hands at your heart. And then we're going to come into a lunge. Now, if you're feeling kind of tired and you want to put the back knee down, then you'll just lower the knee down so you can get back up again. You might want to put a little cushion underneath your knee, you can do that. Or if you'd rather be standing, we'll be up here, might be a little more wobbly, and we're going to make some circles with the arms. Now if you keep your heart where it is, it will be a little easier to balance, it will be a little less intense. If you move your heart forward and make a bigger circle by moving your torso, you'll notice I'm wobbling more, and I would like to offer you that maybe your arms don't move in the same pathway. Maybe they bend more, but be kind of creative with this. And then come back up, lift the arms. Can you find steadiness again? And then hands at your heart, step forward. I totally realized I forgot to do the balance pose on the other leg before we did this. So we're going to do more balancing. So the second leg, this is the one you didn't stand on. Try finding a balance pose here. Again, you can make it up. It does not matter exactly what it is, but can you balance and just kind of give yourself freedom to play with that. Set it down. If you haven't already, shake it out. We're going to do the lunge. on the other side. So again, this might be putting the back knee down. You might stay up like this, and you can make circles that go forward. You can make circles that go backwards. You can make circles in opposition. Both arms counterclockwise. I don't know. What happened? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Or are you just glad that it's over? Let the arms come up. And then we'll come in, we'll stand up at the front of the mat. Give me a moment to shake out. We're going to sit into a squat. You are welcome to sit in a squat right here. You are also welcome to lower your squat. Hips below the knees. Now my whole foot is on the floor. Sometimes I have to do a little like tap dancing to get to that place. Let out another exhale. And then we'll move to a forward fold. So you might have to wiggle your feet in like so. Bend into your knees, soften and fold down. And stand yourself all the way back up. Lift those arms, take your hands to your heart. We're going to do another standing balance. Just spend a couple of breaths on one leg, or a couple of breaths on the other. So maybe you stand on your right foot. And then pick something that you like. So I like halfway. Do you have to know what the poses' names are? Nope. If it starts to make sense at some point, that's cool, but there's no test. You're not here to be good at yoga. Here to try some things. So go to the other leg. And you don't, like I haven't done evenly the same thing on all sides. You don't need to, you're not going to be that lopsided, I promise. But you could if you're like, no, I have to have it even. Then just have it even. And then put your feet down. Here's your heart. Or listen things up a little bit. So you're going to come to stand up by the front of your mat. You're going to walk your feet a little bit wider so you've got more space between them. And then we're going to sit down again into that squat. Now, this squat is going to take us down to the ground. So it will be easier if you do feel comfortable getting your hips lower than your knees. If you do not feel comfortable getting your hips lower than your knees, then all you know is that we have to end on our backs. You just got to get there. And you can. I promise. It'll be good. Maybe it's like, ooh, this. And then put your feet down on your mat. And I'm just going to turn around because I think it's, whatever. Things are weird. So I'm just going to point my lower bits that way. With feet a little wider than my hips, we're going to let both knees go over towards the right so that you feel that stretch on the front of your left thigh, and maybe you take your arms back. I like holding opposite elbows. You don't have to hold on to your elbows. You can just swap them. Take 2 more breaths. One more exhale. And your knees come up and you move them over to the other side. Feeling an opening on the front of your right thigh. You might need to wiggle something. Let out, and one more breath out. Come back to the center. And we're going to bring the feet back to about hip width apart. Take your arms down by your side. And we're going to come up for bridge pose. So we're going to wiggle the shoulders under and push up. Again, like we did before. You might have more room to wiggle the shoulders under. Sometimes it feels nice to hold the hips up. Sometimes it's nice to make a bind of the hands underneath your hips. This shape might feel differently than when we first began practice. Again, just noticing that. Releasing your hips down onto the floor, letting your knees fall against each other, and taking a few moments to soak up any sensations, any observances that come up.
left, reach outside of your legs, and maybe you can hold onto your feet. Maybe they feel like they're a long ways away, and you'd rather hold your shins or your ankles, but hold something. Make a bind of some sort, and then give yourself space to relax in the hips, to rest your head back on the floor, to let the knees fall into your chest, or I guess into your shoulders. One more breath out. And switch the cross of your ankles and grab on again wherever it's comfortable to you. Practicing letting go. Finding new places you might still be able to soften. One more exhale. And then unwind your legs. We're going to set the feet down. And let your knees open up. Take your arms, cactus the elbows, let the body spread out and relax into the floor. One more breath out. And then start closing your knees and elbows in the open. Close, and then open. Bring your knees into your chest. Rock yourself up to a seat. And we're going to come into pigeon pose. So I'm going to snake the right shin forward. And then I'm going to come up and slide the left leg back. And I'm not sitting on one hip or on the other hip. I'm just lifted. You can take something and tuck it underneath your hips if you like. And then I'll come forward and we'll rest in this pigeon pose for a couple of breaths. Sit over onto the right hip, and you're going to turn yourself out to the left. So I'm sitting on both hips, my left leg is stretched out. And then we'll give a big stretch up and over through the right side. Try to drop your right hip down. Stay here for 2 more breaths. One more exhale. Come up and we're going to switch to the other side. So you're going to swing your left shin forward, bring your right leg back, and then going from sitting on your hip, coming up so your hip is lifted. And you can stick a blanket, something to make this more comfortable. Let the body go forward. See what you can do to relax in your hips. There's a lot of tension, there's a lot of resistance there. How much are you able to let go of the resistance just with your intention? Just by noticing it and going, oh yeah, I didn't want to be tense. What happens if I try not to be tense? More exhale. You're going to start to lift yourself up. You're going to sit on both hips. And then take your left arm and stretch it up and over I like to bring my arms forward a little bit. This feels really tight, too close. I like to give more space with the arm forward. One more breath in. Let it out. And then bring yourself up. Take the legs forward. And draw your right leg in. You might cross it over. If that doesn't feel good, just leave it there. Lift and we'll twist over the right side. One more exhale. And then release that twist. Draw the other leg in. And cross it over. Lift up. Try to sit up tall and not lean back. Lift and twist over. Let's see what your exhales can offer you in a twist. Oh shoot, there's a tense spot. How do I get rid of tension? Just by letting go. One more breath out. Unwind your twist down onto your back. Bring your knees into your chest. Your arms open, take your knees over to the right side. Take a little survey of your body and check in. Where else can I let go? Your knees over towards the other side. You might need to make some small adjustments when you get there. And allowing that you can let go. You can let go of all of the effort. And just simply be here, noticing the sensations that come up in this twist. One more breath. And as you come back to the center, let your knees fall against each other. Take a hand to your belly and a hand to your heart, noticing your heartbeat and the movement of your breath. Start to extend your legs, let your arms drop down by their sides. I always like to snuggle the shoulders just gently underneath the heart when lying down to allow the heart to be more open. Maybe the breath moves a little more freely that way. If you need to adjust your position for your resting time, please do. Just come to a place that is restful and nourishing your body. Settle in and spend a few minutes resting together before we wrap up practice together. some deeper breaths, feeling more alert. Noticing this. Rolling yourself to one side, take a moment and offer some gratitude to yourself for making it onto your mat today, for turning on the video and doing the whole damn thing. When you're ready, find a comfortable seat, your own comfortable seat. Bring your hands to your heart. We'll close practice releasing one more Om. You can always just breathe or, I don't know, death growl if that feels more authentic to you. Take a deep breath in.